Hello, good afternoon, my people, and welcome to this broadcast. Greetings to you, wherever you are, whatever your time is. It's a second edition of our 30 marathon journey into discussing 30 important questions singles must ask while dating or courting. I'm actually at work, and I want to use the few minutes I have in my break period to be able to come your way with this discussion. And we're just going to begin the broadcast in just a jiffy. I just want you to desire that you share the link and get somebody connected to this broadcast this wonderful time. Remember, this is our second edition of second day into our 30-day journey or marathon journey into discussing important questions singles must ask while dating or courting. And if you would, please share this broadcast, share and let somebody know that we are on, so that they will be able to benefit equally from this wonderful time. I'm going to be a bit snappy, so that we'll be able to catch up with a little time I have in my very tight schedule. And just in under 30 seconds, we will be starting our discussion on the second important question singles must ask while dating or courting. And like yesterday, I did say it's unfortunate that many singles, when they get into relationships, they don't ask the right questions. They don't ask the right questions, and they don't get the right information, and they get into marriage with wrong data that has been collected during their courtship or their dating period, and only get in to meet surprises. And if you missed out on day one, the first question you need to ask when you are dating or courting, we say you need to ask your potential partner their long-term relationship goal. That was question number one. And quickly we are jumping into question two today. Thank you again. Remember, I said I'm just using my lunch period, the remaining part of it, to be able to drop this video. First question we discussed yesterday, which you must ask when you are dating or courting, is you need to ask your potential partner what their long-term relationship goals are. And if you missed out on that video, then just search it out to be able to catch up with what we discussed yesterday. And today we are handling question number 2 on our 30-day marathon journey to discussing 30 important questions you must ask as a single while dating or courting. And question number 2 is you need to ask this person how they handle conflicts and disagreement. How do they handle conflicts and disagreement? Disagreements are a normal part of any relationship. It doesn't really matter how well intended the two persons get into the relationship are, there are bound to be conflicts. There are bound to be disagreements. Disagreement doesn't necessarily need to be a very big issue, but it could be any little issue that will crop up in that relationship, and you would like to anticipate what to expect in case a conflict arises in a relationship. And I have this impression that if you have two persons in a relationship and they don't have conflict, they don't have any conflict, they don't have any disagreement, then it could be very likely that the both of them are pretending. It could be very likely that the both of them are pretending, because real people, when they get into a relationship, they face issues, they face conflicts, they face disagreement. It could be as small as, where to take lunch today. And this person would want to go to that restaurant, and this other person would want to go to a different restaurant. It could be as small as, arguing over who did not call who. And you need to get to a point where you discuss how your potential partner handles conflict. And like I said earlier, if you're in a relationship and you have been there for a little while and you find out that there is no conflict, there's no disagreement, you have not come to a point where somebody, is not 100% satisfied with what the other person does, then it could be very probable that both persons are pretending. And of course, if don't push any relationship to any deep level if you don't have any conflict yet. And sometimes this is what I advise people. You need to be able to be sure how your other person, your partner or potential partner, handles conflict. And if you have not had any conflict or any disagreement before, then intentionally create one. Intentionally create one so as to see what it is like when your potential partner gets angry, when they get offended, when they are not happy with what you do. You need to anticipate this because you might be thinking you are getting married to an angel, just to find out when you finally get married that there were things you should have known. And if there are things you knew when you were still single or still dating or courting, you might not have pushed that relationship to yes, I do. It's important. And why is it so important to anticipate how your partner handles conflicts and disagreements? One, it helps in choosing the right communication style. When you understand how your partner communicates during disagreements, during conflicts, it helps you to assess whether your styles are compatible. Now, there are people when they get offended, they withdraw. There are people when they get offended, they get very violent. There are people when they get offended or they are in disagreement with you, they will want to do everything to retaliate. So you need to be very sure if what that person does when they are in conflict or when they're in disagreement is compatible with what you want to accept. It is something you want to bear. Now, do I want to continue with somebody whenever he or she is in disagreement with me, they shut me up? They don't want to talk to me. They don't want to reply my messages. When I call, they don't pick my phone. When I go close to them, they withdraw from me. They move away from me. They don't just want to have anything with me until they are able to handle their problems, their insecurities, and their conflict. Is that the kind of person I want to settle down with? You need to ask those questions. They're very, very important. Never mistake calmness for somebody who would not be a troublemaker. Some people might look so calm, they might look so well behaved, but the moment you step on their toes, you will not be able to predict what is going to happen, how they are going to react. So you need to be very intentional to know what communication styles do they use when they are angry. Do they just withdraw? There are people who are upfront, who want to express their mind to you. They want to tell you this and this and this and this. I was not pleased with it when you did them. So you are able to know what happened, and then you'll be able to see how to handle those issues. But some people will bottle them up. They will stomach those issues, and you only see them put on an attitude. They are not saying nothing. When you ask them, how are you? They tell you, I'm fine. Yet you can tell from everything that they are not fine, because they are in conflict with you or because they disagree with something you have said, you have done, or you are doing. And so you need to be very careful and intentional to anticipate what will happen. It ensures that you both can express yourselves effectively and understand each other's perspective. Now, people are different, and you need to understand how your potential partner handles conflict. How do they communicate? Is it by putting on an attitude, or are they open up enough? Or are they open up enough to be able to talk it out? Is it that when they get in conflict with you or disagreement, do they always look for a third party to get in between you to see how they resolve the issue? Are they able themselves to be able to resolve this problem? That takes us to the important reason number 2 why you need to know how your potential partner handles conflict or disagreement. Do they have conflict resolution skills? This is something that we learn. We master the skills of conflict resolution. Now, there are people that when they are in conflict with you, they are in disagreement with you, they either only put up a defense or they keep accusing you and pressing charges upon you. They don't take responsibility of anything. Do they master conflict resolution skills? This person I'm thinking of settling down with, does this person, is he able or is she able to admit their fault when they go wrong? Do they accept open discussions, or do they need time alone before addressing the issue? Some people, when they get into conflict, they need time to be able to digest and master their emotions. And if you know the skills that your potential partner have when it comes to conflict resolutions, it's going to help you quite a lot to be able to access if it is something you want to continue with. And of course, the third reason why we need to know how our potential partner handles conflicts and manage disagreement is to know if they have mastered the art of emotional intelligence. Now, being emotionally intelligent is someone who is able to understand their emotions. They have self-awareness. They know their feelings. They master their emotions, and they are able to understand the emotions of other people. And this will help them to handle things with empathy. They will handle things with love. They will handle things with understanding. When you don't have emotional intelligence, all what you want to do is you want to please yourself. You want to have your way in everything. You don't want to think of how the other person feels. You don't care what they are going through. All what you want to do is to be able to say what you want to say, how you want to say it, and you don't care how the other person is feeling, and you don't care what to do in order to navigate that conflict or disagreement in a way that doesn't destroy the relationship necessarily. There are people who don't have feelings, and you need to be aware of that. They can get you so mad, so angry, they can offend you, but they don't feel nothing, and they don't care how you feel. They don't care how you feel. And they can live their life. You don't sleep, but they don't care. They offend you. You're unable to sleep. You're unable to eat, but they don't care. They lack emotional intelligence. They are not aware of how you are feeling. And sometimes it's due to greed. They are too conscious of themselves to the extent that they forget about whoever is around them. They don't care how you feel. They don't care. I mean, whether you sleep or you don't sleep, you eat or you don't eat, they're able to sleep very well because they have issues with their emotions. And so it is very important for you to check if they have developed emotional intelligence. Thank you so much, Brother Bovet. I didn't realize the setting is only for friends. I'm going to, when posting the video, I'm going to take care of that. Thank you so much. And the next thing you might want to consider, the next important reason why you need to know how your potential partner handles conflicts and disagreement is to be able to understand long-term relation, how things are, to be able to manage long-term relationship dynamics. Like I said earlier, marriage is a place where conflicts are inevitable. So you want to be very sure what is going to happen when this person is in agreement. When they get into conflict, what are they going to do? There are some people, when each time they get any disagreement with their potential spouse or partner, the first thing they do is they go to Facebook. That's a very immature way of handling things. If you take all your things, your issues and your troubles and the disagreements to Facebook, you disagree with somebody right now, the next thing you're making a post about it. You may not be so direct. You may not go straight to discussing the specific issues that you are going through in your relationship, but it is visible for anyone who wants to see beyond the letters to be able to see what you are writing on Facebook. And some people have those attitudes. And some people use words and they don't even choose the right words when they are talking to you because they don't care their feelings. When they disagree with you, when they're in conflict with you, they make sure they hurt you as much as possible without caring if that relationship has to continue or not. They just want to make sure that you are in pain as much as they can inflict you with that pain. And that is something you need to consider if that is a relationship you need to continue with. Remember, we are discussing our second question on our 30-day marathon journey to discussing 13 important questions singles must ask when dating or courting. And we are on question number 2 today, and we say it is important to ask your potential partner how they handle conflicts, how they handle disagreements. And the next reason why it's important for you to know how they handle conflicts and disagreements is for you to know what kind of boundaries to set and what things to expect in that relationship. There are people, when they get angry or they are offended, they're in disagreement with you, they want to destroy something. They want to destroy something. Some would dash their cell phone against the wall. Some would just hit themselves here and there. Some will actually get violent. That should be something you should be aware of, so that it ensures both of you to be on the same page regarding how you are going to address things, considering acceptable behavior, and also being able to set boundaries. What are the things that are acceptable? You need to discuss it. When you get angry with me, when you disagree with me, when you are in conflict with me, what are the acceptable behaviors? You need to be able to discuss that. And it's not something that one person imposes it in a relationship. Both of you have to talk it out. What are the acceptable behavior when you are not in agreement with what I am doing or what I have said? What do I expect you to do? What do I expect you to do when you are not in agreement with what I am saying or what I'm doing? You have to chart out those things because there should be limit. These are the things we would accept in this relationship. These are the things we are not going to accept in this relationship, and you have to discuss that together. Personally, I would not want to be with somebody when they are in conflict or disagreement with me. They want to destroy everything we have built this far. And some people are like that. They don't care. When they get into conflict or disagreement, they would want to destroy everything that ever existed, erode every foundation that you ever built together. They want to make sure that they do as much damage as possible. What are the boundaries you are setting? It could be something simple. If you don't agree with me, what I am saying, what I'm doing, openly discuss it with me. Don't tell someone else. Openly discuss it with me. If you feel hurt by something I'm doing, talk it out with me. Or I would not like you that when you get offended with what I'm doing, you bottle it up, then you close yourself up, you turn down my calls, you don't reply to my messages, you don't come close to me, I come close to you, you move away from me. Those are things that are not allowable in this relationship. Because once you notice some attitudes, certain things, some characters that you would not want to accept in a relationship, it is time enough to address them. And you should be able to agree on healthy ways to handle conflict, to handle disagreements, because they must happen. They must happen. It doesn't matter if you love yourself to whatever extent, there is bound to be some disagreement. And the next reason why it's important for you to know how your potential partner handles conflict or disagreement is you need to be able to, understand patterns in their behavior so that you will understand them better in order for you to build trust. Now, effective conflict resolution builds trust in a relationship. When you are able to resolve conflicts effectively, they end up making the two of you more bonded together than before. And if you have never had a conflict, or you don't know how the other person handles conflict or disagreement, it becomes difficult for you to anticipate or for you to build trust, because trust is not given. Trust is earned. And when you are in a relationship with somebody who is empathetic, who understands how you feel, who chooses the right words when they are speaking to you, who treats you well, you will tend to trust them better. If you're in a relationship with somebody who respects you even when they are angry, who respects you even when you do the wrong thing, and they are still able to choose the right words to speak to you, and they still speak to you with a lot of empathy, with a lot of understanding, with a lot of love, that builds trust. And that's why it's important to know how they handle it. If you don't know how they handle conflicts and at disagreement, you are only building up, or gearing up for disappointment and frustration in the relationship you were intending to build. And the last reason why it's important to understand your partner's method of managing conflict or disagreement is that it helps you, both of you, to cultivate or to learn problem-solving skills. Understanding how your partner approaches problem-solving helps you assess their ability to work collaboratively towards solutions. I said earlier, there are people that when they get into a relationship, they always want to have their way. That is not healthy. They always want that they should win at the end of every conflict. They always want that they should be the one to make the last statement. They should be the one to draw the conclusion. They should be the one to decide the way forward after now that this problem has been resolved. And they always want that their opinion will be the only one that should count in that relationship. It's not a healthy one. If you are in a relationship and your potential partner or your partner is the one who thinks that everything they say stands, and they don't learn skills on how to solve problem in a way that both of you are able to give, to come up with a situation where it's a win-win situation. And at the end of the day, it's the relationship that should win, not even an individual. Whatever conclusion you are coming to should be for the betterment of that relationship. It's important that you should understand how your potential partner handles conflicts and resolution. This is important for overcoming challenges that may arise in the course of your relationship. Remember, I'll be coming your way every day for the next 28 days remaining. We are on a 30 days marathon journey into discussing 30 important questions singles must ask while dating or courting. And today, we're discussing question number 2. How do you handle conflicts or disagreement? And we have advanced a few points as to why it's important for singles who are dating to have this discussion ongoing, because it helps for you to understand the communication style of your potential partner. It also helps you to understand the conflict resolution skills that your potential partner has, and to check for compatibility. Is it somebody I would want to continue with? Is it somebody I want to accept? Those behaviors, those tendencies, those methodologies are those things I want to accept. And it also, the next important reason why I need to know is that it helps me to understand if my potential partner has emotional intelligence or not. Do they understand my feelings? Do they mind my feelings? Do they care how I feel? Are we able to communicate effectively and be able to understand how each person feels in this issue, so that we can end up resolving the issue without hurting or destroying each other emotionally? What is going to happen in our relationship in the future if we end up marrying? That talks about long-term relationship dynamics. Things are always changing. Relationships will always have issues. Work will always have to come. Your relationship is going to experience some mountains, some obstacles, some disagreement What am I anticipating for the future? It also helps you to set expectations and boundaries, so you don't expect things you're not going to see in relationship when you know exactly what that person thinks about conflict resolution or resolving disagreement. It makes you to set realistic expectations. And if you are in a relationship for a little while, you remember that there are things that you just let go. Of course, there are very important things you will not let go, but there are other things you will never end up resolving or helping your partner to be able to improve on. That's what you need to know. There are things that no matter how well you work with that person, they will never improve on. There are things you accept, there are things you anticipate, and of course there are boundaries you set together. That this is where it ends. You don't go beyond this, because when it gets beyond this, I'm uncomfortable. I don't accept it. I don't tolerate it. And that person should be able to respect your boundaries. It also helps to build trust when you know their conflict resolution styles. When you know what to anticipate, you have some form of security and trust in that relationship. And finally, you will need to check for problem-solving skills. Do you need to work together to develop something? Are you or this person able to collaboratively solve a problem, or they want to dictate their own solution to it without caring what you have to bring on the table? It helps you to anticipate things that may happen in your relationship. Remember, we are beginning our first batch training for singles during the month of February and March. You are invited to join us. I'm going to attach the flyer to this video, and of course a link that you can use to register for the class. Thank you. See you tomorrow.